On their way, they spotted the old woman and recognized the queen in her disguise. "Follow her," Grumpy shouted. So they chased her all the way up the steep cliff. The queen reached the top of the cliff and was trapped on a narrow edge. You see her, Aiden? Yeah. She was about to push a huge boulder onto the dwarves when a bolt of lightning struck the ledge. With a horrible scream, she fell to the jagged rocks below. The wicked queen was gone forever. When the dwarves finally arrived home, they found Snow White asleep on the floor. Nothing they could wake her from the sleep. With tears in their eyes, they gently laid Snow White on the bed. The next day, the dwarves built a golden casket for Snow White. It was covered with glass so that they could always see her. Then they carried the casket to the peaceful glen in the depth of the forest, where the tall pine trees carpeted the ground with their fragrant needles. For many days, the dwarves stayed by Snow White's side, hoping she would wake up. But Snow White slept on and on. Meanwhile, the lonely prince had been searching for Snow White far and wide. One day he heard of a beautiful maiden who slept in a golden casket deep in the forest, surrounded by 7 little men.
And some doors.
Finally he came upon Snow White. He lifted the heavy glass lid. "My beautiful Snow White, at last I have found you," he whispered. Then he kissed the sleeping princess. Snow White opened her eyes. The spell was broken. The prince gathered Snow White in his arms and lifted her onto his horse. This time Snow White was not afraid of her handsome prince. "Goodbye," she called to the dwarves. "You have been good, kind friends. I will never forget you." Snow White kept her promise. She included the dwarves in all the festivities at the castle, where she and the prince lived happily ever after.
Okay, let's do it one more time.
Isn't that good?